Welcome to Motivational Monday. This is Fed Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today, we're going to break down the process to success. But before we start, make sure to like, subscribe, and especially if you find value in this presentation, do share with friends and family. Okay, so a beautiful case in point is a company called Amazon. Now, I could remember the days that Amazon started, and I feel so much foolish today not having taken advantage of its stock price and not being there at the initial times, or really seeing it throughout the entire time. And it's really a very clear cut when there was a thought and then there was a vision, and that's all it was. Initially speaking, if you've ever seen any stories about Amazon or any stories about the process of how it became what it became, it initially didn't even start as an online bookstore. It was just an online something to provide the public, and then Jeff Bezos processed this and then offered it to his boss. His boss said no, and then he left the company and ran with it and found some funding to follow through with it. And in the initial days of Amazon, all they did was offer online services of selling books to the public. And I remember those days, those initial days of when they just sold books. And basically what he wanted to do is that he wanted to have accessible a lot more books than your normal bookstore had to offer. Something like Barnes & Noble at the time had an X amount of books available, but he wanted to expand that. So he saw a niche and he saw a need for it in the public. And this is all at the time when internet is just starting out and just being accessible to the people. And then from there, that initial thought of having that vision set into motion a bunch of sequences that led to the company that is here today. Now, the initial company just sold books, and then they started adding goods and services, and that started expanding. But if you think about it, it started from one small dot, not even a tangible dot, just a thought. And then it just expanded further and further until it got to where it is today. And that is really the process of success. The process of success is having a thought, having something that you see a need in the market, whether it's a bagel store that you see that community needs, or a bakery store, whatever it is, whatever the business is, an insurance company that is not really servicing a certain clientele in that country, then you can take advantage of it by just having that vision, just seeing what that need is and then duplicating it. Business is not difficult. Business is not complicated. We think it is, and we think it's complicated, and we think that it's so complex, but in truth, it is not complicated. It's just a series of following through and having that vision. I mean, there are stories upon stories, not just to Amazon, but many other stories of initial things that just started out and then became into the things that they became into. For argument's sake, this videos, I initially just did daily reviews and webinars for the company, and then I proposed some other more reachable, more tangible, more added value to the company videos, and this is how this all came about. And it's because of you, because you've given myself this presence, this audience, that I'm able to reach more and more people to add value to their lives. And this is just coming out with just a daily review about just the market activity of that day. You could even go back to about 7-8 years ago and see some of the initial videos that we did present. They were very, very simple, but we got more complicated as the time got more complicated and as we kind of reinvented this videos for your sake. And that is just what we are looking to do. We're looking to expand and to make better and to add value and to educate and to give people the resources to expand themselves. And that is what the process to success is. And if you duplicate anyone's process to success, it's all the same thing. Apple also had just a vision of having just a personal computer, having something that was versatile, having something that added value to people, that was artistic, that was unique. You could add and add and add, but the process was still there. And they reinvented themselves again and again. First it was the PC, then it was the MP3 player, the iPod, and then it became the iPhone, and then became the iWatch, and everything else kind of worked since then. So it's a very simple thing. There's a vision, there's a need out there, there's a process to get to that need, and you execute and you don't give up and you continue and you continue and you continue until you reach your goal. Thank you for joining me for Motivational Mondays. We'll see you here next week.